Oh, give us a proper
Oh yeah,
intro.
hey everybody, welcome to this episode of It's Your Birthday, the only podcast that gets you a gift every single week, and this week is no different. And that gift, as always, is video games. From on high to down low to on your TV to your tablet, your cell phone, your butt cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
God, you can play video games on anything, can't
You
you?
just you can just do that. I mean, like they were playing video games back
Dude.
when like people were playing with rocks. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah,
they were
yeah, yeah,
playing
yeah.
all
I
sorts of
mean,
stuff back
Tetris was
then.
from the Mesozoic period, I'm pretty sure, when they got that one all
Yeah,
squared
yeah,
away and figured out what was going on.
yeah. Everybody knows
Uh,
that. In Night at
Dude,
the
everybody.
Museum, the pinball machine from the 1400s comes to life and chases Ben Stiller around. It's a deleted scene from the second movie on the Blu-ray,
Dude,
but it's a very
I
cool
bet
scene.
I bet you some money if they dig up them stupid old Stonehenges, you gonna find yourself some pinball machines under that. That's all they're doing.
I just
That's all that was.
realized my
Yeah.
mic was off in the broadcast. So
Oh, cool deal. That's cool, man.
hey,
That's
hey,
really good. Hey,
if-
hey. Episode 3 online, online. Episode
Yeah.
3 online, episode 31,
this is the preamble.
I think. So it's-
All
hey.
of that before, that's not actually in the episode, right?
Right,
We're
right,
just
right,
gonna
right.
Snip it right there. No,
Well,
I have a feeling
actually,
you're gonna pull a fast one, and all this is gonna stay in.
technically speaking, if you're recording your audio separately,
I am.
so then it should be in that one, right?
Doesn't affect the audience out there, but hey, I can't take
doesn't,
it
but
back. I
listen.
can't rewind time.
Listen,
Let's
Here's
just
what we'll
keep this
say.
truck
If
moving.
you want to hear what he said for the first 2.5 minutes, you're just gonna have to go to the YouTube channel and see it here tomorrow morning and see
go to
what that
our
looks like.
go to our Patreon page.
Yeah, go to the Patreon that we don't have, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you can donate your comments, and that's it. Because there's no place to give us money. We don't even need no dang money right now. Okay. We'll take it, but
I
we'll
mean-
look, I'll take it, but I'm not saying
Yeah.
we, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the same page, same page.
Well, I'll take some free money. But anyway,
So how have you been,
Uh,
man? What have you?
dude.
You've been getting into some fucking nonsense.
yeah, I've been getting my childhood back. That's what I've been doing. I don't know if you
Okay.
can have a midlife crisis at 32, but I'm really trying to.
I think it's possible.
I think it's probable. I don't know. I mean, if I can get out of the, I'm just trying to get it out of the way so I don't get it, later in life. I want to hone it in now.
Yeah.
Just get that out of the way.
No, you want to do it now when you have cool things to buy and not like a Harley Davidson or like a. Like
Yeah,
a-
I don't need no
Yeah.
dang stupid moped. I mean, I'll take a moped, sure, but I don't need one. I actually saw recently you can buy like a Segway, and then you can buy an additional piece that's like $700 that turns into a go-kart. It just folds down like the Segway wheels, and the Segway becomes the back wheels, and then you get like a full-on steering wheel and some other shit, and you just get a go-kart out of it. And it shows my favorite thing about this is the marketing for it, because it shows like an entire family driving one of these. I'm like, y'all about to spend $5,000+ on go-karts for your whole family to just ruin the neighborhood with? Come on. And then I was like, it should just say at the bottom, whites only is what it should say. Because there's nobody else that's going to be able to do all this. Because I can't afford any of this. It should just say, it should just say rich whites only. Because that's all that was in the advertising. It's fucking ridiculous.
Dude, I love
But-
driving around Dallas or anywhere, I guess, that these things are prevalent. But you ever see just the dudes that like are 45 and they're driving those like really cool 3-wheeled vehicles?
You
that
talking
are,
about
like,
the T-Rex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, talking about those things. They everybody who I've seen, at least, not to stereotype, but looks about the same.
Yeah.
They look
Well,
like
it might be the same guy, because I saw one dude driving one around all the time, but he was always wearing different wild outfits. But I've also seen a gaggle of them, like a group that just rides T-Rexes around the city.
Okay.
Which is, and actually, I watched a dude peel out of the gas station the other day in one of those things. It was okay. So it was after he yelled at the cashier for not understanding what none of us heard. He yelled at the cashier for misunderstanding what he clearly said wrong. Like the guy made the mistake, and then got really annoyed at the cashier at the gas station for not understanding exactly what this guy meant when he said a completely different thing. And then I saw him like go out of the store and then not even check traffic and just peel right out on this like little tricycle. And the thing is, like, I don't want anybody to get hurt, but there's certain instances where I really want to see somebody just take a big old L for acting a fool. And
Dude,
that would have,
yeah. All the time that shit happens, like, well, at least I've seen a couple instances where, like, I've pulled up at a red light or something and I'm in, like, the far right lane and the people in the middle and the left are, like, fucking windows down, screaming match, pointing at each other, fucking getting pissed off. And then, like, they peel out and then one of them just fucking hops a curb. I've definitely seen that.
It's crazy, dude. Texas drivers are fucking outrageous. They're either not paying attention to anything or they're paying way too much attention to nothing. It's like it's there's no in between. It's just lawless out here.
Yeah,
I wish
because
like I drove because I went and picked up when I picked up this PlayStation from this guy today. It was in I think Grapevine or so. So it was about a 40-minute drive or whatever. Dude, I don't ever want to drive through because I sold my old microphone earlier, so that's part of it. But when I was selling it to that guy, they were both super nice guys. I had really good luck today. But that first guy was like, he's like, "Do you want to meet anywhere in downtown?" I was like, "I sure don't. What about Lower Greenville? Anywhere around there? Because I definitely don't want to go to downtown Dallas if I don't have to. It's a shit show down there." And he was like, "Oh yeah, this place." And I was like, "Whatever." And then the other guy was like, "Grapevine." So I ended up having to go through Dallas, and it's just miserable. It's just miserable. It's so many like I look at Dallas and then I go, "How the fuck do people live in New York City?" Like, because Dallas is already a nightmare. I can't imagine what New York is like. And it's also like $1,200 for a 4 square foot apartment where you just have basically you have a refrigerator that you sleep on top of. And then it's like $1,100, and then I guess if you got to go to the bathroom, you just do it out the window. But it's it's nuts. It's nuts. I couldn't do it, and I hate Dallas traffic, and I hate downtown Dallas. It's just because there's not really anything there either. Other than that like weird park strip, there's like kind of nothing there to actually go see and do. Really, I mean, I guess the museum and then the food trucks, I guess. You can go take a peek at those, I suppose.
That's actually right where I work is where you're talking about.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I like that. I like that part just fine. I just... sometimes I'm like, I wish there was more to do, like nightlife style, like that kind of shit in Dallas. And a lot of that stuff is starting to come back and be more prevalent. And they're like, building up Dallas pretty heavily. But the thing is that like... I like being out in Dallas and like there's not a whole lot of people. Like you drive through the city and like at night because it's mostly all corporate. There's nobody in like the core of downtown like doing anything.
Dude, especially Pandy traffic was the best Dallas has ever looked. You could get anywhere in the time that you should be able to get somewhere. Like it was crazy how easy it was to move around. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to a bar downtown ever. Like I've only ever been to like Deep Ellum or Lower Greenville, and Deep Ellum's like kind of a nightmare for a different reason.
Yeah, it's like its own little city inside of what's going on at Dallas. It's it's a wild time over there.
Deep Ellum is lawless. It's like I don't know. I don't care for it. Maybe it's just because I'm like not 20 anymore. Even then, I don't feel like I was like super into it, but yeah, it's just a nightmare. But anyway, all this Dallas talk aside, because we've talked for 10 minutes about Dallas traffic, and that's not anything to do with video games. Except for I'll reel it together. Except for I wish that there was a courtesy officer that was in a burnout style vehicle, and they see any infraction, they just take them right off the road. They just pound them out and get them right out of there. That's like what I really want.
Rear takedowns, like when you just slam into the back and fucking rock it off.
Yeah, dude. Just send them off the highway, dude. They've been wasting too much time anyway. Because I have a friend that has a theory that's like if everyone was going the same speed, we'd all get everywhere better, which I think I agree with realistically, because it's really just the start and stop and then the people speed. Like there's no good way to be. But anyway, yeah. So I today acquired the deal of the century on a PlayStation 2. I'm very thrilled about it because I've been trying to find one for a while, but the deals have all been not great or they've been okay because you can generally find like a PlayStation 2 console, fat or slim, for about $100 is generally what you're looking at. But then when you start to find accessories and stuff with it or games or whatever, and they're all like, oh, it comes with 9 games, and it's like this is 8 NHL games and 4 Madden games. That's not
and
games.
the Frogger Adventure game or whatever the fuck. Yeah, exactly.
And like Dora's Loose Tooth or whatever the game is, and it's just like I don't want any of this.
Yeah.
So I found one today, which is just it was such a nice old man. He was, I would say, like in his late 50s, but sold me a beautiful PS2 Slim, and it's in this crazy like PlayStation bag, which I was thrilled with.
Okay.
Just because.
Yeah.
But it was that, and like I think around, God, I don't know, 15 games or something like that, and then a DDR mat, and then a Intellivision plug and play TV thing that has like 60 games on it for no reason.
Did like a grandson pass away or like a son?
No,
like...
dude, this was all his. He goes, I bought this. He's like, it's only ever been played by adults. We used to take the PlayStation up to the cabin, and that's why there's like 5 of the games are like karaoke games. There's like Karaoke Country, and then like the American Idol game or whatever.
It's pretty good.
But there was like, it was like Hitman 2, and then Crash Tag Team Racing, and then what
you
else
had a
we
couple
got
like
here?
really good, like surprising
Soul Calibur
games.
3, that was another big one. Sly Cooper 2, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver was a really good one that was in there.
I wish you were doing
SSX3.
I wish you were doing like a show and tell kind of presentation of just like sliding through a stack.
I mean, look at this though. I mean, it's like I don't know if the webcam will even be able to see how much shit this is. Because I also I realistically went and bought another handful of my own. But let me see. Oh my god, that's so much shit. That's stack number 2.
Oh Jesus, yeah, you had more than I thought.
That's stack 4. I think this is it. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay, stay tuned, guys, because we're going through each of these games and we're doing a 5-minute synopsis.
Tutorial on it. Let me actually hold on. Let me make sure to turn my webcam unblurred so you can actually see what's going on here, because that'll make this a little bit better.
Yeah. Show me the goods.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, it's
NASCAR Invader.
But
Hell
look at
yeah.
this. Look at this. So this was all. This was all. You're looking at only if I match this out, and think about it for what I paid for the loose games and then what he gave me, $60. So pretty decent. Actually. Yeah, only $60 because the console itself I would say is worth $100 because that's what they're selling for, and then these would all be $60, which is pretty insane. But yeah,
there's like a pretty few good amount of gems in there from like the post that you made earlier.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Legacy of Kain,
American
Market
Idol.
Free.
I mean,
come on, NASCAR 2002. Hot Shots 3, Robotech, which is a game I haven't played in a really long time. I'm super excited to play that game again. Outlaw Golf 2, State of Emergency, Burnout Dominator. I bought a demo disc because it turns out these actually sell for a lot of money for whatever reason. People are looking for specific demo discs, I guess. So depending upon what's on them, I just grabbed it because it was literally $1. Road Rage, Simpsons Road Rage. I mean, I picked up a DDR game just to test out the mat that he gave me because why not? Tony Hawk Project 8, American 18-wheeler, which is like the Sega version of, it's like Crazy Taxi kind of, but with trucks, which is pretty good.
Sweet. Hell yeah.
It's no Big Mother Trucker, but it's pretty decent.
Yeah. What is really?
ATV Off-Road, SSX Tricky, SSX3, Dave Mirra Freestyle 2, which is really good. ATV Off-Road Fury, Soul Calibur 3, Crash Tag Team, Tetris Worlds. I don't know what Choro Q is. It seems like IGN gave it a 2.
Okay,
but,
great.
But I keep seeing it resell for like $30 some odd, which doesn't make any sense if it sucks. But it's like an because Atlas made it, so it's like an RPG racing game. So like there is some I don't know heavy RPG elements to the game that I'm not aware of because I haven't played it yet. But
I was gonna say typically cool. When a random game like that goes for sale, it's because of either one, there's an exploit tied to the game that'll let you like jailbreak something.
Okay, or, right, fair.
Or two, there's like probably some video file in there that they snuck in that people really want to find out
just
about.
Todd Howard's dinger as hard as it can. It's Todd Howard's dick soft, and so you're really trying to find that. And then it gets increasingly larger as the sales of Skyrim go up. He gets more blood in there.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's see. Tetris Worlds, which is one of Jack's favorites, so I picked that up.
It's a good game, yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Turns out Tetris doesn't really get old. Yeah, American Idol. CMT presents karaoke. Yeah.
I need to see the American Idol like case. Like I need you to hold that bad boy up.
Well, it's exactly what you expect it to be.
Hell yeah! I was okay. I was halfway hoping that they were like video game versions of them. Like
no. You know what's even crazier? Codemaster. Yeah, every one of these but one has the manual. Every single one of these has the manual with it. Some of these have the original receipt in them. And like ATV Off-Road Fury, apparently that game originally retailed for $59, or $49. I'm sorry, $54 after tax, but has a Best Buy receipt in it. It's crazy. All these are like super nice. I think honestly, what happens is I think Movie Trading Company has stepped up its game. Like I think it may be only buying like complete stuff because everything I've bought has been like almost completely without blemish and with the manuals and everything. So. But yeah, Codemasters made
game.
American Idol. Oh shit, you can play American Idol with a dance mat. So I could use the dance mat.
Well, what are we doing?
And the karaoke mic that he came with too, because they also put a karaoke mic in there.
Okay, well let's scrap the show. Let's just start broadcasting gameplay of American Idol. Let's do that.
I do kind of want to do an episode on CMT Presents Karaoke Revolution Country. I kind of want to... 35 of the greatest country songs ever recorded.
Do they have like a short list of like songs that are on there?
Yes, they do. Hit songs include, and if I don't see... There's one very specific song, and if I don't see it on here, this game is horseshit. Let's see. 9 to 5.
Which song you're talking about too.
Oh, I think anybody with a conscience knows what game. Oh, okay. 9 to 5. All my exes live in Texas. As good as I once was. Boot Scoot Boogie. Chattahoochee.
Fuck yeah.
Celebrity.
Yeah. Fuck
Crazy.
Yeah.
Does he love you? Don't worry about a thing. Friends in low places. Good old boys. Goodbye Earl. Hot mama. How do I live? I like it. I love it. I walk a line. Let's see if we got any other ones in here.
Yeah,
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's fantastic.
Dude, I didn't even look. I didn't even think to look. I was too stoked about everything else. I didn't even realize what I was really getting here. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Thank God this came out with in time for that to get thrown on there. Suds in a
too
bucket.
Early for Florida Georgia line though. Way too early for that.
So literally the perfect pocket for country music. Oh shit, Wide Open Spaces, which I believe Shania Twain. It's another good one. Oh, and fuck, this has got iToy enhancement, dude. So I could get enhanced with iToy.
You gotta get an iToy now. You gotta go.
I almost bought one today, to be honest, because it was like $5. I literally almost did.
There was an iToy game where you like did like beat off. Hold on.
We beat off. That's every one of them.
Where you like beat away a bunch of like ninjas, like little tiny ninjas on.
Yeah, that's what came with the iToy.
Okay.
That was the included
I
disc.
played
yeah.
that at a Blockbuster, so yeah, that makes sense.
Let's see. Oh yeah, and then we got Karaoke Revolution 2, which I don't know. Oh shit, dude, this is another set of bangers. Listen to this.
Okay.
Baby One More Time, Born to Be Wild, Friends in Low Places. There we go. Genie in a Bottle, Hot Stuff, I Believe in a Thing Called Love, I Will Survive, Jesse's Girl, Lady Marmalade, Papa Don't Preach, Sweet Home Alabama, Toxic, of course, Virtual Insanity. Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
That's a decent little group of.
I wonder. I don't think the American Idol one says anything.
No, that one you just get berated. That's a game you get, like your dreams shot down.
Sing along to top 40 hits as you compete for auditions and finalists. And then Rainey, Paul, and Simon tell it like it is. So Simon Cowell tells you
is.
Fucking fuck off as hard as you can.
Yeah. Not your mom's singing competition.
Not at all, brother. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, actually the jam pack thing would be cool. I didn't even actually look what was on it, so I'll pull that out last. Let me see if there is. Oh, this is the first Karaoke Revolution. You know, since we're here, I'm gonna see if there's anything. Yeah, Billie Jean. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Son of a Preacher Man, Like a Virgin. You know, that's the full on hits.
Yeah.
And then this is classic board games, which is nothing. You get Mahjong about 5 times, and then you can play chess. So that's every ultimate board game collection ever. And then,
outside of the karaoke games and American Idol, what is your what are you looking forward most?
Sly
to
Cooper
playing?
2. Yeah, thank you for asking. Sly Cooper 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Simpsons Road Rage for sure. I never played Hot Shots Golf growing up, but Everybody's Golf is probably one of my is my favorite golf game ever made. And I've heard and that's what it comes from. So I'm interested to see how it started. I've heard Outlaw Golf's pretty good. But I don't know. It's just like horny golf, I guess, basically.
It's like crude, like fart joke, like not your mom's golf game.
Well, here, let me explain to you. Outlaw Golf blows away all other golf game. It's lewd, crude, and freaking fun, and that's by Dave Attell. You might recognize him, favorite stand-up comedian, Dave Attell. Let's see. I only really got this game, 1, because I heard that, 2, because you can drive golf carts, and I was like, is this just GTA? But you can. New and old Outlaw characters return, this time with more attitude and less clothing, so I'm fucking ready to go.
Yeah.
8 full courses you can play online. You have a composure meter, which depends on your swings. You have cart challenges, celebrity voices. Oh, comedian Dave Attell is the announcer. So not only does he does he support the game, he was in it and paid to be in it. So that makes sense.
Take that little line on the back with a grain of salt.
Increase your attributes on 15 skill tests, and then beatings is the last one. Kick your caddy's ass to boost your composure. So I guess you beat the shit out of a small teenager to make yourself feel better at golf, which is pretty much what happens in regular golf.
Cool. Dude, I am all about trying to, because with what you got there, I've been getting into the GameCube stuff. We can.
Oh, one last thing.
Yeah. Go for it.
I'm gonna read off the jam pack. What's on here? Because it's a demo disc, and I'm just curious because I haven't looked at it, and then I'll allow you to speak for 45 minutes as I just did. Holy shit, dude! Actually, this one may be worth something. Okay, this one has Shadow of the Colossus, Sly 3, Jack X Combat Racing, Ratchet Deadlocked, Castlevania Curse of Darkness, Soul Calibur 3, Burnout Revenge, Chronicles of Narnia, Genji, Dawn of the Samurai, and Brothers in Arms.
Those are all pretty fucking good, except for Chronicles of Narnia, I guess. I don't. Maybe that game's good.
And it may be fine. I don't know. I've definitely never played it. But Shadow of the Colossus demo disc is, I gotta imagine that's pretty good, and people fucking love. I fucking love Burnout, so maybe people don't, but I love Burnout. Dude. So
yeah, Burnout 2 on the GameCube's really good. I was playing it recently, and I forgot how good it was, and that's before they added the rear takedowns and all that.
Yeah, and I think Burnout 3 is probably still the best one. I don't know that I've ever played Dominator, but it was literally the only Burnout game they had there, and I was like, well, I have to own one Burnout game.
Burnout's sick. Takedown or Revenge is my favorite of like all the Burnout games. Paradise.
That's the demo on this one is Revenge.
Yeah, Paradise was fine, but I really liked Revenge. That was like the golden era of Burnout for me.
Well, it was the only era because after that, you got Paradise and then you got nothing. Which I really like Paradise, to be honest, but I fucking hate hearing that. Excuse me. I hate hearing Paradise City every 8 seconds. That's the only thing about it is every time that announcer comes up, he's like, "Welcome back to Paradise City. I gotta tell you something.
Take me down to the Paradise City." Yeah.
I fucking hate Guns N' Roses. That's what this podcast is about. I've been waiting for. It's been 30 episodes. I'm finally glad that we've gotten to this point. I fucking hate Guns N' Roses.
Kelly hates all the bands that your moms are horny for. Just a heads up.
No. Because Ted Nugent is great. Guns N' Roses fucking sucks. Aerosmith's even okay sometimes, but like, Ted Nugent.
They did do that. They did do that Armageddon song. So yeah, that's.
It's just Guns N' Roses sounds like a cat in heat, and then you took a rifle to the cat, but shot out the cat's kneecaps. So you weren't doing kill shots. You're making sure the cat was still loud and horny.
That's a very nice comparison. Not that scenario is nice. I was saying nice.
Oh, it's a miserable scenario. I would hate to be a part of that. I love kitties, but that's what it sounds like.
That's the most accurate like takedown of that genre or artist.
Before we get into GameCube, I'll give you an example of what it sounds like. He goes like this. He goes, and you go, "Fuck you, dude. Fuck you." Axl Rose, take the fucking wheels off, dude. He's a wheelless vehicle is what he is. He's useless. I hate that. I hate that
motherfucker.
I do. I can't stand him. I hate his music. I think what is it of Love? Not Flavor of Love, but they did one. Didn't they do one with him?
It was Rock of Love. That was.
And how much better would it have been with Chris Rock? And he's already even married, so he's not even really in it for that.
So at the end, he's just like, "Thanks for hanging out for a few days. Like, see you later."
Sorry, Trick. I'm married, fool. And you go, "Oh, dang." And he's like, "Wow." Actually, it would be better with Chris Tucker because he would wear out every girl on that show. His energy would be so high that they would all be like, "I can't do this."
Dude, me and my fiance, we watched like the first 2 Rush Hour movies very recently, and I was like, dude, the world needs a Chris Tucker more than ever. Yeah. Like, what happened? Like, that dude just fell off somewhere.
He disappeared. Dave Chappelle talked about it. It was like they were in a room. It was like Chris Tucker, Dave Chappelle, and I think a basketball player. It was a story about O.J. Simpson, but it was like those 3, and everybody's "Oh my god, these 3 unicorns right here." And he's like, "Can you take a picture?" Like, no, I don't want anybody to know that we're here or anywhere. But so I'm excited to play some PlayStation 2. Is what I'm saying.
What I was gonna say though is like we should start trying to like back and forth, like, because I want to stream some like GameCube games, and it'd be cool to like stream some PS2 games so we can like kind of flip between the two.
That reminds me.
Nice to do.
It really would, yeah. And we definitely can because I think I have one of those AV to HDMI converters, so I should be able to set that up pretty easy. I did also, the most expensive game, I did order a complete edition of Brave Fencer Musashi for the PS2. It's a sequel to the PlayStation 1 game. It's not great from what I remember. The first one is a way better game. But I have to have it. There's just no question about it. And I'm also kind of bummed that it's just I have the first one, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. I think honestly that may be the first thing I play through. Like if I'm going to record or stream something, I want to play through Brave Fencer Musashi, or I just sing country hits because obviously you heard how good I was at singing Guns N' Roses. So clearly I can sing anything really. But
sky's the limit.
I'm also now bummed that my copy of Monster Hunter for the PS2 is sealed because I would like to see it. So I guess I'm on the hunt for an unsealed one at this point.
Well, I know that I'll get a text from you that will be just like I did it, and it's you opening the Ark of the Covenant, also known as Monster
no.
Hunter.
I think if anything, I would feel comfortable enough to play an emulator if I was going to play that game, just because
Okay.
I own it.
Yeah.
And not that I wouldn't be otherwise, but I literally own the thing. I just don't want to open it.
Yeah.
So I think I may do that because I can't bring myself to open it as much as I want to. Same with stories. I swear to God, this last week has been just me staring at Monster Hunter Stories and being like, I should probably play that game. I'm like, nah, don't open it, you dumb bitch. So.
I keep wanting to get back to it, but I've been tangled up in some other stuff that I've been doing. The
This is another
Goosebumps
one.
game. All right. There you go. Is
Another
it like
one that sells for like $30 for some reason, but apparently it's pretty good.
Is
I
it
don't
like
know
a
anything about
Is
it.
it like a theme park tycoon? That's kind of what it
Yes.
looks like at the front.
It's Goosebumps in Horrorland, but you do 30 thrilling rides and games. There's a spine-tingling story, and you can play in story arcade modes or compete with friends in ghoulish multiplayer challenges and collect monster cards. So you can fucking play Yu-Gi-Oh in this game, apparently.
Fuck yeah.
Oh wow. It was also published by Scholastic, the book fair company, or the people that, Scholastic Books. And it's made by some company named Elastic. I've never heard of them before.
Yeah, that not ringing any bells here either.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep going. I forgot.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
This boy just sweating PS2 games over here. So.
No, that's fine. I just wish I could flex some games that I own, but they're all on SD cards. So,
Well, that's all right too.
yeah.
and
Because
then we can get into the
eventually
games.
I'm gonna work toward getting the games that I've been enjoying, and for the most part I have. But, dude, like I was talking about it last week, like GameCube and Game Boy, like collecting has gotten like out of hand. In the last
For you
like,
or just
couple
in
years.
general for
in
pricing?
general
Yeah,
pricing wise,
it's unreal.
it's hard out there. It's real hard out there. Like a copy of Animal Crossing, like for the GameCube, at the game store that we went to was like $69. Like it was insane.
Yeah. I'm just happy like all my fantasy collection for PS2 is mostly cheap.
Yeah.
Like Dark Cloud 2 is like maybe $40 at most. Wild Arms 3 I saw going for 30 complete. That's not bad. There's another one. Oh, Draken the Ancient Gates. That's like 7. That's actually one I'll probably play with you. That Dragon game I've told you about several times. I think we looked up like a few weeks ago because it was one of the end episode ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one's like $17 or something. Like it's nothing crazy. Really, the hard ones to come by because actually even like. I think the most expensive one I saw there was Tony Hawk's Underground 2. That was like $30-some, which is ridiculous, kind of.
And
really,
that's
but.
because like the PlayStation 2 of that era was like very heavily produced, and games for it were also like heavily produced. Like compared that to like GameCube or even like some of the original Xbox titles, like they just did not sit on the shelves or have very many on the shelves. And PlayStation 2 was popular enough to where like even some of the like Japanese games that like made their way over here eventually, like at the time they were stocked pretty decently.
Yeah, they had
what I remember.
They had, what was it, Star Ocean's Echoes of Time or something like that, which is like a relatively popular RPG. And they had the collector's edition of it for like $14. I was like,
Yeah.
is this not like worth anything? Am I missing something?
That's the thing. Like the GameCube games just weren't like. I get why they're expensive, and also like the form factor of GameCube was very odd. Like the mini discs, and so they just didn't produce a whole lot of games. But yeah,
do you remember
PlayStation
those,
2, the price has got to be at least a little bit decent. So
they're really, it's pretty agreeable. I mean, like I said, I think, what was it? It would have been at least 8, 9, 10, 12 of those games. Yeah, were like less than $60, I think. because I
Yeah.
bought them all at the actual store. It wasn't those weren't even ones that came with, and those were like specific, ones I was looking for. Um, yeah, it's unfortunate because because I mean, in 3DS is getting insane, and like we've talked about previously, because I've been on that hunt for a while. And again, I lucked out on the one I actually ended up getting to purchase. Um, but yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Old games are awesome, but fuck, are they a little? I mean, they're all of them are really reaching, like, if not retail for when they came out, like a little bit more so. Dude, thank God this guy's changing out that case. Jesus, is that the
egregious?
is that the Rock Special Edition, or what is that?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. You were gonna ask me something before I got you sidetracked, but I don't know. You were like, "Did you ever?" And then I don't know where we were going.
Believe in a thing called love? Yeah, I don't know, what was I gonna ask you.
We're gonna sit in silence until you figure it out. That's
Okay.
what we're gonna do.
Oh yeah, all the PS2 memory cards have a save for Kingdom Hearts on it for some reason.
Fuck yeah! I knew that guy had taste. Fuck yeah!
And
that
I
guy had
couldn't.
taste.
He did. I will say, because that was actually kind of interesting to go through those. I can't remember what I was gonna ask, but it was like one of them had. So I don't know. Some of these memory cards, I don't know where they came from, because I've got like. He gave one with it, but I already had like. I have 2 more over there, but I have like 7 of these things just because I've had them. Like, that's for some
Yeah.
reason I'm like, I can't get rid of the memory card.
That's how it is for me and the old GameCube. There's one in the GameCube. I bought this one recently. But
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
I had these 2 and the black memory card that's in there. I've had those lying around for years. Like,
Yeah, because they're inexpensive and you can still get them. So they're
did
not
I
really,
tell
like,
the story real quick? Did I tell that story about how I went to go play Animal Crossing? Did I tell that on the podcast? Because I'm not certain.
I mean, it's not ringing any bells. So
Okay,
no.
okay. Well, so I'm not going to pull it out of the GameCube because it's actually on. I have Metroid Prime in there right now. I had this black GameCube memory card, and I remember having one when I was younger that I made my Animal Crossing village on. It came with a memory card, but I ended up transferring it to the black memory card because I just wanted one to carry around. And the Animal Crossing save, when I booted the GameCube up with Animal Crossing, it was our buddy Tyler's town, like, not mine. So at some point in the past, he and I like swapped our memory cards or something, because I know he had one as well, and we used to do the club in high school where we'd play Smash. It's basically what it is with Smash Brothers Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that, though. I don't think I ever went, but I remember it.
Dude, yeah, that's if you want to talk about crowning achievements and peaking, that was your boys. That was your boys.
Wait, starting the club or just participating in the club?
So, and I guess I'll get into this. So, like, the old club, whenever I showed up to it, was like card and board games, and
you got fuck all that old shit.
I was like,
this.
it was fun, but I was like, dude, I want to play. Like, can we bring our consoles up here and play? And they were like, well, we technically can't have video game consoles, all this stuff. So I went through a whole series of it. Dude, it was wild that they let that much up to a 15-year-old at the time. Because I basically was like proposing, like, hey, we have like this permission slip. Here's all the ESRB ratings. Like, here's what we do in the club. Here's the games we won't permit. Here's the games we will. The first couple years we didn't do shooters.
It's just an empty list. It's like a full-on list of what you won't play, and the only thing you do play is Smash. And that's it.
Smash.
Here's what I'm saying. This.
Y'all can watch me play Kingdom Hearts in like
a
partition
here,
of the room.
Hey, Principal, you can come get your ass whooped too if you want. If you want to see how the club goes, and he loses, and he's like, "Shut it down. You guys can't do this anymore."
So that's the interesting part. So the first couple years we didn't play shooters. We did fighting games. Like, that was pretty much it. And then the last year that I was in high school, I got it to where we could play shooters, because I was like, look, these are like popular now. And they were like, well, you're going to have to like talk to the principal. So I actually brought him to the room and we like showed him Call of Duty. And like,
Yeah.
he was just like, oh, so it's like laser tag. And we were like, kinda, I guess. He's like, oh, like paintball or something. I was like, yeah, I mean, like, essentially, it's like, we're all in here having fun. It's not like, yeah, it's violent, but like, we're not, like, you have to have permission to play this. It's not like we're going to just let anybody come in here and do it. And he was like, yeah, I don't see why not. So then that went to like the superintendents, and then they were like, okay, whatever. It's a video game. And apparently, like, after I left school, multiple schools in the district started doing their own video game clubs, which is pretty cool.
Dude, look at you, big boss hog, dude.
I know, man. It was neat. It was so cool.
Your name still echoed through the hallways. They say, remember that one kid? Remember that Smash nerd? Dude, look what he did for us.
Dude,
now we can play Fortnite in school. So
yeah, now they play Fortnite.
Now we have a Fortnite team. But hey,
we would have played PC games if their PCs weren't shit at the school.
They were pretty bad in the computer lab. Yeah, those are those are some hand-me-down Dell buddies in there. Yeah.
But yeah, that was where I think the memory card swap happened. But that's sad,
dude.
I kept looking at that. I kept looking at that memory card over the years and being like, oh, eventually I'm going to see my town again. And it's not even my fucking town. So sad.
Does he know where the other memory card is?
No. He was like, dude, I think my sister, he was like, I think my sister has our GameCube stuff. And I'm like, dude, if you find a black memory card and there happens to be a town on there, hit me
Dude,
up
I think you're
about it.
saying more or less, if you find a black memory card at all, I'm going to need to see that. Otherwise, our friendship ends.
It's
that's
done.
my boy. Well, the town is just going to be roach infested and full of weeds, right? And then all your people are going to be like, dude, we don't know you. Who are you, dude? You left us.
Because whenever I did New Horizons and I busted that game open by writing my own NFC tags, I was trying to get all the villagers that I originally had, but I'm having trouble remembering the exact villagers I had. I have like 4 of them that I definitely remember, and then the others I just don't remember at all.
I can't remember I can't remember who I had in the GameCube game. I can't remember because I know I didn't play it like a shit ton. Like I would have. It didn't catch me at the time the way that like New Leaf did. Because when New Leaf, which I think was a lot for a lot of people, honestly, it's like one of the ones where everyone's like, oh yeah, this game's really something else.
New Leaf just was like a transformative thing, and then like New Horizons, it has cool stuff, but like 50 to 60% of what you can do in New Leaf, you just can't do in New Horizons, which is upsetting.
That's the problem with New Horizons. We're still waiting on the game to get here. Like it's still just like not, it's just not happening yet. Like there's just not enough that like to keep you interested. And then when they were like, I keep up with it a little bit because I do kind of miss it. But then, which is why I started playing like Room Factory 4, I think, because it's a pretty decent. It's not really the same, but it's kind of decent. I started looking into Harvest Moon a little bit. But yeah, I look at every update and I was like, oh, cool, Easter, we're doing that stupid bunny that everybody hated again. Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to do that one more time, I guess, like for no real enjoyment. Yeah, it's just a bummer because that game's got so much potential, and I guess hopefully what'll happen is kind of like what they did with New Leaf, where there's like here's a 2.0 thing, because they were like, we added amiibo support, and we did all this, and
that was like 3 years after New Leaf came out or something. It was fucking pretty late, and it was neat, but I was actually thinking about that the other day, like, are we going to wait that long for like
see, that's that's the big problem is like, they got way more money this time, so we shouldn't be waiting that long. They really, exactly. Especially because we're already missing a lot. It's not like we had the same game as that one, and then they're like, all right, let's figure out what else to do. It's like, hey, we still are missing a lot of stuff, and some quality of life things, which maybe needs a full overhaul. Maybe I have no idea on earth why crafting a single item at a time anybody thought was like, that's good. That's a good thing. We'll have crafting, and we'll make it as basic and bare bones and unenjoyable as we possibly can. How would you like that, guys? It's like, ooh, give him the option to speed it up. Though I was like, yeah, by just destroying your A button. All right, cool. It's just it's just silly. And the game needs more. It needs more because
Yeah.
it's really neat.
So
neat
that's
old
my GameCube tragedy, but this is it. This is the thing I've been
Yeah.
chasing for a very long time.
I'll give you a drum roll, I guess.
Thank you. This
I don't know if that's
absolute beauty right here, which I will
Look
play
at that
video so you can get
fucking
a
Rocket Boys. Look at
yeah.
that.
That is
Yeah.
the Game Boy Advance SP Unhinged. It's so fucking nice.
Yeah.
And
it looks really nice.
the thing is, like, I went into it with no soldering experience, anything. I've been watching videos on this thing for months now. These really got popular at the beginning of the year, and then orders went fucking crazy. So I got a notification from Boxy Pixel. That's who makes these. I think it's like one guy named Nick. So thank you, Nick, out there. But it's one guy who like machines these parts and anodizes them. And I got in right at the last end of like the second or third batch that they did. My order number was like 10,000.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So he's like really burning some rubber.
Dude, it's crazy.
So what all does it come with? Cuz
Yeah.
like cuz I'm curious as to know like if you could say you found like yeah, I'm just curious. I'm curious to know what it actually comes with it because I kind of would like to do this, but I would also I don't know. I just don't know. I'm just interested.
Yeah, so this guy on YouTube, I'll put this up on the screen right now.
Oh
This
yeah, I
guy's-
know this fella. Yeah.
Yeah, Macho Nacho. He does a bunch of retro stuff. This guy, I followed this guide like verbatim whenever I was doing the build, and like it was perfect. Like this guy covered all the bases. I had no questions. Like the only thing that sucked is it didn't come with some wires that I needed. So I ended up cutting a Cat 5 cable, splicing it, and using those wires for a couple of the things I needed to solder. It worked. By the way, if you ever get into like microelectronics, microprocessors, motherboards, PCBs, whatever, and you're doing soldering, I couldn't find wire anywhere in a store. Not a Hobby Lobby, not a tool shop, not a Home Depot, Lowe's. They
Not
don't
even
sell
Micro
that
Center?
thin. Micro Center may. I just
Oh,
live
I'm
too
sure
far
they
from
do.
Micro Center. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
So I wasn't going to go all the way over there for wire, but yeah, just cutting that Cat 5 cable and making it happen that way was efficient enough. But yeah,
Sure.
you get like the front shell, the back of the screen, you get the back shell. The battery stuff is optional, and that's kind of what he's showing here. I did the battery solder mod. You can put a original battery in it, but you need like a 3D printed part. I'm pretty much saying what he's saying in the video right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I did get that part just in case I like chickened out on like doing the soldering. That is the USB-C charger, which I also did. And it does still charge with the original cable, like this guy's showing right here.
Oh,
The
that's
only
cool.
thing that I didn't have in there was the light pipe, or like the where the LEDs are for power and charging. There's like a plastic piece that like helps it illuminate. And what he does in this video is he kind of dremels down one of the metal pieces, and I don't really have that ability, so
Yeah.
I just don't have one. He's
Well,
showing
if
you all
you
the
ever-
stuff you need from your
'cause
Game Boy.
Dremels are like pretty inexpensive because I use it for when I do Gundam models. I think I got it for like $10 or $20. They're really inexpensive, and they come in handy more often than you'd think for stuff. It's like a weird purchase that I was like pretty thrilled by the couple times I've had to use it. But anyhow, yeah,
Yes.
that's sick though. I really, yeah, I'm into it. I guess there's no onboard storage at all though. It's still just playing.
Well,
proper games
that's where you get some cool stuff like you get one of these. You get an EverDrive for the Game Boy Advance. This is the
Right.
EverDrive X7 or X5. I've had this for a while. And I had a SP that I shell swapped with like a purple color. Unfortunately, I lost the other. I couldn't find the other just AGS 001 Game Boy I had lying around, so I had to deshell the one I modded originally, or just
Right.
shell swapped. It's not really a mod. So that was a little upsetting because I just have like an IPS, like, or not IPS, but AGS 101 screen up in the closet doing nothing. But the EverDrive is this bad boy. It has its own operating system on it. It boots GBA games natively, but to boot other handhelds, it uses emulators, which is odd because the SP did, I believe, have. Yeah, it did. It had Game Boy, or Game Boy and Game Boy Color compatibility,
Yeah,
but
you could definitely play any of that because it'd stick out by like 9 feet. Because I have one
yeah.
of the Arrow. Well, it's Jack's, but I have one of the original Arctic purple
Mhm.
advances back there. But yeah,
But
they definitely do.
it's just weird that it uses a Game Boy emulator instead of like using the actual hardware to play the game. But again, I don't really understand how the chipset works or anything, so I can't speak to all that. But yeah,
Yeah, that
essentially you
is
get an
strange.
EverDrive, you get one of these bad boys, and then you're living my entire dream for like the last. Ever since I bought that original SP, I'm like wanting to get into the modding, and I was looking at some people selling pre-builts and all this stuff, but I was like, dude, I'm just gonna roll my sleeves up, learn how to solder, do this shit myself, and I'm very proud. It's
See,
so weird, but I'm very happy with how I did it, and
I
it turned
think
out as good as it did.
no, I mean it looks incredible. I mean it's a really nice looking piece.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna try to do a macro. I think pretty soon. That's
yeah,
really
macros
I
are
think the
neat.
one I want to try and do. Because DS lights are like the only ones that are still really cheap. Surprisingly, for all the whole line of DS stuff. I'd prefer to really find a broken one, but I'll take a fresh one. I'd rather not just have to destroy one that works well. But um,
It's just
yeah,
so
I'm kind
nice.
of interested. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean it's sick. I guess on that subject, I because I don't know if I talked about it the week before, but we're on a similar scape now. I also grabbed a let me get this out of here, the Ambernick 351P, I think it
yeah,
is. The it's like a little emulator device, but I got it primarily because it looks like and because it plays Game Boy Advance games really well.
yeah. You have the
Which
upgraded version of what I have.
yeah,
This was like
yeah,
the
yeah.
original one.
They
Yeah,
also make a larger one now that has like a 6-inch screen that's like $110, and they put it out like the week after I got this one. But they're identical. The screen's just bigger.
yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, that thing is incredibly well built. They're super nice. They're only about $100. So if it's like if you're and it'll play pretty much this one at least. It will play anything basically up to um, PlayStation 1 really well, and then
Hmm.
it's hit or miss on some other stuff. Dreamcast was okay, some of the games, but PlayStation 1 down was like perfect. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. It's got like a 10-hour battery almost. It
That's the
sounds really
thing,
good. The
man.
screen's really nice.
Like they're made by like a Chinese company, and so like you would think like some like at least in the past like these little handhelds coming out of China are like real shitty, like bootleg, like fucking bad, just build quality and everything. But these are actually like very nice for what they are.
Yeah, it's
Um,
incredibly nice. It's crazy how nice it is. The D-pad feels really good. I wish the buttons had like a little bit more give to them, but maybe it'll break in after I get used to it
yeah,
or play it a bit more. And then yeah, it has Joy-Con thumbsticks at the bottom, like it's 100% Joy-Con thumbsticks. They feel and look and sound exactly like those.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully
Um,
they don't fuck up as bad. But yeah,
yeah, well, actually, they kind of did the thing that the Switch should have done, but that indent in the case that makes it like they're not level, but they're like just slightly raised above the actual shell of the system. It's way better. Like the
yeah,
Switch should have done that. Cause I think a lot of the drift stuff also comes into play because of how you store it. Because almost all the cases don't have cutouts for sticks and shit. So if you're just sliding it into like one of those sleeves, you're just running the sticks up, and then however you've got it set in there, it's just gonna stay like that
yeah.
for a long time, which is bad. It's a bad design. Um, and these ones are this is just a way better thing because it's such a slight thing, but I noticed it almost immediately when I was putting it away. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, we're handheld boys
Yeah.
over here, dude.
I always
I
have been.
definitely,
I love
yeah,
them.
I love handheld, and that's the thing,
I
man.
love them.
I was playing Golden Sun, so I took a trip for work. That's why we're recording on a Thursday and not a Wednesday. But I took a trip for work, and I brought my Switch. I brought the DS just in case I wanted to play Chrono Trigger.
I brought everything.
I brought
I packed
everything.
it all inside of a
Yeah.
GameCube, and then
I just had a lot of stuff. Like I wanted to focus on a game, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna play Golden Sun. I'm gonna try to play all the Golden Sun games because I remember really liking those. And yeah, man,
Yeah.
I got to the hotel last night. I ordered food, and then I played Golden Sun for like 7 hours, just straight.
oh, you play way more of it than I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I got I got burned playing the original Breath of Fire because I played it for about 8 hours and then didn't realize the save state. And when I unlocked the system, it just reset itself, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's everything I just did," and
Yeah.
which was kind of a bummer. But I did start playing, the first Golden Sun also. That's like, but I've only put maybe 2 hours into it. I like went past the castle, not the castle, but I just talked to the old man, and then am like leaving the village, I guess, for the first
Oh
dungeon
shit.
or whatever it is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
super
That's like
early. I barely
that-
played
yeah.
it.
I'm at like Mercury Lighthouse now, which is like the third. No, so like you get the elemental stones, and that Mercury Tower is the first elemental stone you get, I think. So it's still like several hours into the game. Like there's plenty to kind of fuck around with and like grind and all that stuff. But real quick, what I want to show is that like the EverDrive original X5 like juts out at the bottom, and I've always hated that. Like, you know, not hated. I mean, it's a great product, but their excuse at the time was that like they couldn't really source like good microprocessors or like microchips.
Oh shit, these
or
things are expensive. I
boards.
didn't know they were that pricey.
Yeah, I bought this one that I have at 99, and now they make one that is flush with the system.
Of course.
And my boss is actually talk to me about like maybe wanting to like build his own. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking I might just try to sell him the one I have, and then
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. So we'll see. That was
Yeah.
like that's huge because I on a whim I was like playing it, and I was like, I wonder if they've updated the firmware on these things or like the OS that it's running. And I went to their website and tried to pull it up, and they didn't have mine. And I was like, well, what the fuck is this one? And yeah, they figured out a way to compact it all into a real shape,
Sure.
which is nice.
They and I assume it's just like an SD card on there somewhere, right? There's not like a battery for saves or something like that.
If you see this like spot up here, there is a battery in there, but if you see this spot, that's where you slide the micro SD in, and it looks
there
just
is a battery
like
in it.
Yeah, there's like a little CMOS battery there because it does do for the emulators and stuff. It does save states, but also the saves. Yeah, I mean it has to have save files on there. But the cool thing is that like if you have other emulators, like you can plug the SD card in, import that save file into an emulator, and keep playing on like if you wanted to stream the handheld game or whatever. It's pretty cool.
Well, I was just curious. I was wondering because if it's like, I would assume like if it's an SD, it would just save there without having to have that issue, because that's like the biggest thing of like, oh, the battery dies on this thing, I lose all my shit, or whatever, or what's happened with like a lot of Pokemon games, other stuff like that.
I think the battery is for real-time clock. It still does store everything on the SD card, so you don't have to worry about losing the saves. But like, there's certain features of Game Boy Advance or Game Boy games that require internal clock. So I think that's what that is.
Which is interesting for a system that cannot tell you the time. I think it's pretty interesting that that's all necessary.
Yeah.
But that's super cool.
Thank you for going down that rabbit hole with me. I've been
no,
fucking
absolutely
dying to talk about it. I love this fucking thing.
I'll talk, I guess, well, I did a shelf swap, I guess, so hold on.
Hell yeah, here we go. I'm trying to remember what he did the shell swap for.
Nothing too crazy. Nothing like that, but I'd gotten a black 3DS and then just made it a lime green one, both back in front. I guess you
Where's
can't really
that?
see it
What is that grip that you have on there? That's really nice.
Dude, it's like $10. It's like It's perfect. It just acts as like the back. I used to use it when I played Monster Hunter because the circle pads don't exist for this, obviously, because it has its own thing. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, $9 on Amazon. But I had this exact same one when I originally had a DS. But
That's
yeah,
I
the
need
only
one of
weird
those.
thing
That's
is,
nice.
it probably won't show up, but it just says LL on. Yeah, it's not gonna show up, but it says it's a Japanese case on an American system. Still debating on selling my other one. The
Do you have like a little
Monster
charm
Hunter.
on yours? Is that what I saw? You have like a little.
No, I found the like aftermarket ones that are just for Nintendo. They just say 3DS on them,
Oh,
and they say
okay,
Nintendo
okay.
on the back. But it came in a 4-pack. Actually, there's one hanging there. There's another one there, and then the other DS has it on there.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it does anyway. But yeah, that Monster Hunter one I think is going back to or hopefully to a new home. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that PlayStation had a rip of Bad Grandpa in it. So
Fuck yeah! Hey,
you know what's going on.
that's
you
a
know
felony.
What's going on. Is it? I didn't do it. I just got
I don't know.
it.
I think
Got it.
I think it's not a good enough movie to warrant. Like the Bad Grandpa was fine. It was fine.
It's all right. Yeah, well, I don't really remember it, but I guess
That was the Johnny Knoxville one, right? That was right? That was the.
Was it? I thought it was I was about to say Cuba Gooding Jr. It was what's his face? The angry guy, the old guy who's always mad all the time.
Oh no, it was totally. You're talking about Alec Baldwin or
no,
Robert De Niro.
no,
Robert
no.
De Niro. It was one of those guys.
No. God, he's always mad. He was in all those movies. He's always. Oh, that is Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I will watch this movie then. No, I was thinking. Oh, I have seen this movie. No, because he has like some weird skit with his old balls.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of. Fuck, what is that movie? Bad Santa with what's his face? Angry guy. I
Oh,
can't
the
think of
guy
his
who
name.
doesn't want you talking about his movie career and only wants you talking about Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you remember that? Is that like he got super
Bilbo.
pissed off when he was like doing a tour and like he was being interviewed? I want to play it on the show, but editing the audio is a fucking nightmare because I haven't figured out the split audio. But there's an interview with Billy Bob Thornton where he's like on tour or like talking about an album or something with his band, and the interviewer's like trying to talk to him about his like movie career, and he's just like, "I'm here to talk about my fucking band. I don't want to talk about that shit. That's not why I'm here." And I was like, "You're Billy Bob Thornton, dude. Like what?"
I didn't even know that dude made music. I mean, his name
Nobody
sounds like he
did.
would, but
Did you know that Keanu Reeves made music?
No.
No, nobody knows that. It's a band called Dogstar, and they're like D tier. But yeah,
I mean, Jackie Chan was a pop star. I mean, some people do.
dude, I think like
Actually, Jackie Chan made a shit ton of albums, though. That dude made a lot of music. Yeah, I think he was known as that, and then became an actor.
Yeah, I think so.
If I understand it right, but or just
Dude.
he first he was just the sweetest man alive, and then they're like, "Do you want to just have a career in anything? Because you're just the nicest guy." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll karate people for $."
So I guess we're coming up to the end here soon. We don't really have news this week. We're just kind of catching up and shooting the shit about like what we've been fucking.
Wasn't
around
a
with.
whole lot. Hey, I'll go over the news really quick. The Sony admits that the PlayStation 5 might need to change its design. No joke. And then what else was another big piece of Google news? Yep. Nope.
Well, I know the big one that matters to me and you that isn't related to a single video game. But fucking giant bomb, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's
What
a
a
real bummer.
Oh, dude. I was at work and somebody on this Facebook group I'm a part of was like, "Hey, the Bombcast is like free live for everybody today." And like some of the comments were like, I wonder why. And so I was like, I'll tune in. Why not? I mean, I'm premium, but I'm at work. So the only reason I tuned in was because of that notification. And I tune in and it's like them right when I tune in, it's them breaking the news. And I was like, fuck, man. So Alex Navarro, Vinny Caravella, and Brad Shoemaker are leaving Giant Bomb, and that is a big fucking bummer. That is a massive bummer. Because even
Yeah,
though like those, like Vinny, I love to death. I know Vinny's your boy.
dude, he's my best
Uh,
boy. He's my favorite
like
boy. Like I'm fine with Brad and Alex. Like Alex has definitely grown on me over the years, but Vinny has. I mean, since Whiskey Media, Vinny has been my man. And
yeah, he's such a
ah,
genuine dude.
he's just such a nice man.
Yeah,
I just enjoy him in his. He reminds me so much of my uncle, and my uncle's just the greatest dude ever. But his comedy stylings and just attitude and everything is just so similar to my uncle. And I just, if my uncle could only talk about video games all day, it'd be fantastic.
yeah.
But yeah,
It's
anyway.
it's painful because like I only like started watching them back in 2016 or 17, and it was like right. I caught like the last several episodes before Drew left to do Cloth
Hmm.
Map, and that's like
Yeah,
right at the peak of when I really started like tuning in and watching Giant Bomb. I did know of the whole fiasco with Jeff Gerstmann and GameSpot and Ryan Davis and them splitting off to do Giant Bomb back in like high school is when that shit happened.
sure.
But like I didn't really follow them much up until like I always like there were a couple of reviews out there that Jeff did that were always well written and well spoken and like I respect that man like as far as honesty goes. Like that's the thing about Giant Bomb, right? And this is something Dan said in his like stream about what happened. But they're like the most honest people. Like every other outlet that I ever see, like whether it be like a Rooster Teeth or like some YouTuber that's like doing gaming or like it always there always seems to feel like this forced kind of like endearment towards certain games or like this uh like I don't
Yeah.
yeah
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, they've just always been very about as straightforward as you could get
what babe
with like their opinions and their actual like thoughts for games, and they generally aren't churching anything up. It's like yeah, it's just like this is how I feel about this game. If you like it, you know. I mean, it's sort of the thing is almost for even if that wasn't who he was, like it's sort of forced that way, more or less because of
yeah
like the way that his the reviews panned out and the way that things happened. He almost had to be that. And so yeah, they've just always generally stuck with it. I haven't always agreed with their opinions on a lot of stuff, but I've always at least respected the opinion, and generally, even if I didn't necessarily agree, I totally see where they're coming from.
yeah
Almost, I would
yeah
say 90% of the time, generally.
yeah because
Um,
like I know it's fun to like poke at like right now these days it's like oh game journalist like talking like because
well, they just don't even really exist anymore. Like, it's not even that they don't exist. It's just like it's how do you say it? It's like
well because like all people really seem to think game journalism now is like woke articles on Kotaku and yeah, sure I get the fatigue with all that. In fact, like a lot of like very left like friends that I have that have been pretty like socially conscious or like just like kind of tired of like the constant barrage of like course correcting and like I don't
yeah.
know. I don't want to get into all that, but it's the political landscape of things is starting to kind of even out a little bit. Like it feels like there's always some shit happening in the world, but like I don't know what I'm saying right now, but essentially like Giant Bomb's always kind of stayed away from that, and that's what I always appreciated too. Is that
Sure.
like
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
do have opinions on like companies doing crunch and like how to treat employees at
Well, the
companies.
stuff that is important to games, like it's not like it's we're not going too far out of that realm. And in general, like they like yeah, I don't know, it's just always very game focused. And it's also another thing where it's like everybody that would go to see them, especially like I mean their E3 shows have I mean been amazing forever. And I think it's
Yeah,
generally because like everyone in the industry has known them for so long, and they also are like don't have to be the PR people when they go see them. Like they don't have to be selling a thing or whatever. They're just hanging out, and like that's always been way more interesting to see anyways, because it's like, yeah, I'd like to see these developers just talk normally. I don't need them to just talk about their game. Like, I'd like to just have them talk about literally anything, especially if it's like a game that I enjoy. Like, I'd like to, see what the people that made it are into, and
Yeah.
or how they are or whatever. And yeah, that's always been super appealing, and that's like you only get that with them, and it also doesn't feel like IGN or these other places where it always feels very forced, even when they're doing something like that. Like when they're doing a fun get together show or whatever, it still feels very scripted. Whereas you can just tell Jeff's like, all right, well, what are you doing? What's going on?
Yeah,
Fuck
there's
that. It's
there's
just,
there's a raw nature to it and a personality of it that I like. So who I followed like back when Giant Bomb like started transforming into what it is or what it was now, or like when the whole thing happened with Jeff and them was, I started like Destructoid was like the main source that I followed. So that was like Jonathan Holmes and like Jim Sterling and a couple other games media people that I still follow to this day. But eventually, like it got to the point with the internet where you weren't going to websites anymore. Like you were seeing articles on Facebook, you were like seeing articles in like congregated like news apps. You weren't really needing to go to individual websites anymore. But until I started watching Giant Bomb, where it's like, hey, we got these premium features and we got like all these like backlogs and years of things that we've done. It was very appealing. Like my favorite thing of theirs to watch was game tapes. Always,
yeah.
Because
Game
watching
tapes
like
is
awkward white dudes at fucking gaming conventions, like standing on stage, just being fucking insanely awkward. Yeah, and like behind the scenes footage of Tiger Woods recording VO for fucking one of the PGA games.
Tour. Yeah,
dude. It's so fucking funny.
It's just cool stuff, and I like they always just had really weird and really interesting things. And I know we're speaking of it like it's the end of the site, which it definitely isn't, but it is. I feel like a end of a very long era. Like it's sort of, once when we lost like Drew, that was a big hit for me because I was always a super big fan of Drew, and then we lost Dan, or we got Dan and then lost Dan. And then Ben. Which makes sense because Dan's personality is just too much for everything. Like he needs to be doing something like, I don't know. He's more of an entertainer than anything else, and it seems like that's what he should be doing. And then now to lose, the three mainstays. Like it's interesting to see what happens with Jeff now that like I like again I like Jan a ton. I think Jan's great.
Yeah. There's dudes there that'll carry this thing, and that's kind of what Jeff was saying, is that like him and Jeff Backlaw are gonna like talk about like where they're gonna take Giant Bomb from here. And like,
and I like Jeff too. I like Jeff a lot. That's another. Yeah. I'm super glad that he was picked up, which makes sense why. Yeah, dude, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff on Jeff. Which which is a good pickup, but now makes way more sense why that happened. I think is like sort of like, hey, we're doing this, but it's also like as I was saying before, is like they didn't really need a New York office anyway. Like those guys were great there, but it was always at its best when everyone was together anyway, and the split was just super weird and super expensive, and it just didn't really make a lot of sense to have two different offices anyway.
Yeah.
And especially now realizing how much of this shit you could do at home, it's kind of not really necessarily a need for an office. I'm sure they're gonna get back to it, but it doesn't. I don't know. I guess for the live shows and some other stuff, it's better if they had an office. But still, it's makes sense that they don't.
I missed a comment from my friend Wilhelmina whenever I was talking about people getting tired of like having to navigate the woke landscape of the internet. I guess.
Oh sure. Okay.
She said, "You're calling me out, not you specifically. I just like know that it's been way harder these days to like it got to a point where like everything was like eggshells. I think like people are like a little bit more willing to like let off the gas and like kind of let some other people talk and have their time to like have issues, because like it seemed like there was a little while there where like out of the woodwork, like just socially there was just so many problems, and it's like let's hone in on some shit here. Let's like really tackle some important stuff.
It was just that everything was a problem or needed to be a problem. Like when it wasn't like with the intention of fixing the problem. It was just like, we got to call it out. This is a problem. And you're like, okay, but just saying stop this thing doesn't really fix the thing or do anything with it. You're just saying don't, and then that person just goes, I don't want to, and you go, well, fuck, what do we do?
Because you're not
I guess I just
changing
get mad at
minds.
you.
You're not changing minds on Twitter. You're just that's not where you go to.
It's just not happening because you're not having a real discussion. Then you're just going away, and you just put it away. You go, I don't want to do this anymore. You just put it in your pocket. And that's it. So you don't really have to think about it.
Yeah, gamer oppression is the real issue. Thank you. Yeah. Being gamer is these days. Come on, who would want to?
That's true. Yeah, it is true. I can't game anywhere I want to, and that's the problem. I can only game in certain areas, and I feel like I don't care for that. I want to game. I want to game.
Not entirely gaming related, but to like close off that, like, I guess button off that serious topic that I was talking about. Sure. Like somebody who I was following, who I've followed for years, Lindsay Ellis. She makes some really good content about films and like stories. She recently got like a bunch of doxing shit happened to her and all this stuff, all because she compared that Raya movie to the Avatar, The Last Airbender. And people were like digging up like tweets, and dude, it's crazy. And she put out like an hour and a half long, like, who the fuck are you people video.
What is her name?
Lindsay Ellis. So if you ever watched That Guy with the Glasses, she was the nostalgia chick on there. But she eventually like branched off that and like started like actually doing like YA novels and
well, Christian, that's tight.
Like that.
She's canceled, dog. So whatever. Because I typed in her name and the first thing that came up was canceled. I put Lindsay Ellis and I hit the space bar and she's gone now, dude. So that person no longer exists.
That video she makes though is like very like she owns up to some stuff that she's done in the past, but also it's just like that wasn't the time. Like it just, if you see what she tweeted and then like the explosion that happened afterward, like it doesn't make any sense that it happened the way it happened. It's just wild, man. It's wild.
I can't look into it because that means I'm giving her page traffic and she's canceled, Christian. Do you understand? I can't research this thing.
I'm not telling you to
go
watch
anything
Ben
about
Shapiro video or InfoWars here. I'm not telling you to go.
It doesn't matter.
Go read the Q forums on 8chan, dude. I'm not sitting here telling you to vote for Trump Jr. next election. That's not what I'm doing here.
I won't be voting for anybody. That's not the thing, though. It's like they got canceled.
I'm gonna vote for Pedro. Remember that?
You're not allowed
for Pedro. I love.
Dude, what if I just put 2 hot tater tots right into your eye sockets right now? Would that be cool? Like if I just mushed 2 little potatoes in your eye.
Oh, dude, remember? Get your own tots. Oh, dude, remember? So good. I love that movie.
Yeah, dude. Dude, that's man, dude. I remember, dude. Remember when you're like. Dude, remember when you were allowed to think a movie was funny and it didn't have to become your entire life? I don't, actually. I wish I did have a time where that happened, but dude, it's too bad.
God.
Actually...
you're talking to teenage me cosplaying at every Tim Burton movie I went and saw in theaters. That's not true.
Right.
That's not true. But
well, it might be. Fan of Kingdom Hearts? I don't know. It's hard to say what you're up to. But yeah, we were playing Crash Tag Team Racing, and then... what was it? In Cortex, I was like doing something, and he was like, "And I'm spent." And then Jack was just like, "Why are all these people quoting fucking Austin Powers?" And I was like, "It's the time. Like, it's the era. You got everything about games at that time was all weird referential shit all over the place. Like, it's also weird though that in Cortex, one of the grossest, arguably one of the nastiest looking characters ever created, was like." Telling you that he's done having sex. Basically, I'm gonna break down that joke. He's done having sex, and I don't need that. I just don't need it. I'm sorry, but I'm okay on it. He's that big-headed.
You said that was Wrath of Cortex. That was the one you played?
No, that was Crash Tag Team Racing.
Tag Team Racing. Okay. I got you.
Which I never played actually before. I guess I only had played CR or CTR. I never played the I guess the sequel, but it's like,
dude. Yeah.
I guess their answer to Double Dash, except you're only one person and you're combining with other people. So like you get into a fight with them and then your cars become one. So I guess you are having sex in a weird way. And then when you're done, you just shoot yourself out and then you get first place every time because you just cheat the game basically. You get into a ruffian with the guy in second, and then right before the race ends, you just shoot yourself out of that car and you win.
Dude, that remaster for CTR was really good.
Dude, if it would come to the PC, I'd love to play it, but I ain't. Switchman's loading times were a little rough. I played it on there and I was okay with that. I want to win.
I've played a good majority of the game on the Switch. That is the worst problem. The game performs fine. It runs fine. It's just like, those
it's
load
mostly
times
fine.
are fucking crazy.
It's insane. Actually, to that end, not necessarily the same, but that Sakuna game actually plays pretty well. The load times going in and out of houses are like slightly too long. It's not like slow, but it just needs to be faster than it is because you're just going in a building and out of one or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the combat is totally fine. And there's like a bunch of enemies on screen. You're smacking around a bunch of particles and other shit, and it's totally fine. It's really just that 3D scape where you do the farming and stuff that it's like a little hit or miss. But as far as like a game goes, it's a pretty interesting game. I like I don't love the main character. Like she's kind of a whiny princess, like purposefully. But the rest of the characters are pretty decent. And the actual gameplay itself is cool. Oh yeah, Pokemon Snap. I didn't even talk about it, and that's like the only thing that's really come out in the last couple weeks.
I did buy Resident Evil 8. I'm gonna stream that. You can't preload it. It comes out at midnight. Can't preload it. I'm gonna stream some of that. But yeah, Pokemon Snap. No, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you or cut you off.
Cool, man.
I was just, when you were mentioning recent releases, I was like,
Listen to
what
me,
is
man.
coming out?
Do you know how many Resident Evils there's been? 95. You know how many Pokemon Snaps there's only been? 2, dog. There's only been 2 of them. But this is
Okay, ease my worries, because when I played Pokemon Snap recently, it was way more bare bones than I remember it being, and I think the part of Pokemon Snap, the original one, what made it exciting was like finding the secrets and Easter eggs and sharing those with the kids on the playground and your cousins or whatever. But now that the internet's a thing, like, how does
just don't watch the videos.
Okay.
Just don't watch people play it. That would be the big thing. Don't look at articles and do all that. No, it's like it's like really dense. Like the environments you're going through are super dense. So, and you have like Jax played the original one like 40 times. Like she knows that game back and forwards. Like she's a huge fan of it. And I played it a little bit. Like I skipped school the day it came out to play with my friend. But I wasn't like. I think it's fine. This one's definitely like more interesting though, because you get like the maps have a day and night cycle. They also like will change what happens in them based on how much you level up the region. So I guess like certain events can happen if otherwise, or certain Pokemon will show up or won't show up or whatever. And then the other big thing that's like a big change is like you can you get like a star rating for each photo up to 4 stars or whatever. But you can get a photo for each of those in your album. So it's like if there's a 1, 2, 3, and 4 stars, so you have like a like reason to go back through the courses. It's not just like, oh, I'm going for just this one shot. It's like, okay, well, I can pick up a few shots of this. I can do a little bit of that, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a pretty good roster so far and a good like clip of environments. I think there's like 7 or 8 that we've gone through so far, and there's still a few more, it seems like, that'll open up. And then like the original game, actually Kodak makes a camera that you can print these from. So if you decide you want these photos, you can do that, which is kind of neat.
That is pretty neat. Yeah.
It's just relaxing, I guess. Like it's the same thing kind of with Animal Crossing, is it's like there's not it doesn't really demand a lot out of you, but like it is a nice picture gallery to kind of go through and just like,
and Pokemon
there's
for the
enough
most
happening.
part are cute. So it's like, oh shit, look at that cute fucking thing happening over there, like whatever.
Well, and they picked some good ones for this one too, because it's not like, oh look, that's that Pokemon that's just a roll of used toilet paper, or hey, that's that one that's a full trash bag. It's like they're like pretty good Pokemon. Dude, there literally is a Pokemon that's a trash bag.
Yeah,
Like I don't know if you've seen it, but it's
I mean,
straight
there's
up a
one
trash
that's like a
bag.
pair of keys or a set of keys. There's one that's like an ice cream cone. Yeah, man.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
one that's like divorce papers. There's one that's like, I don't know, your social security number, and you
A
have to type it in
Rorschach
every
test
time
of
to
my
name
parents
it.
arguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's like it's still not necessarily my thing, but I've been enjoying watching her enjoy it because she's like loved it. And I think if you were a fan of the first one, they like pretty much did the same thing, but just expanded on it, which is I guess what you would want out of this game because I don't
Yeah,
know what
there
else.
is a chandelier. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah, there is. That's true. But
The
yeah,
literal
it's
Pokeballs.
yeah. I mean, Voltorb was basically just a Pokeball that blew up.
Yeah.
Ditto was just bubble gum that you chewed up and turned into whatever you wanted.
That's good to hear. What's funny is that like from the footage and screenshots I've seen is that the environments are like really well detailed and lush and like it looks very nice. But
They're
you look
super
at like
dense.
Sword and Shield and they look like Play-Doh. Like the difference there is insane. I know that like with Pokemon Snap it's like there's probably some trickery happening because you're not always seeing the map, so they can like really kind of tweak with like the engine and like make things.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is though, is like you're at a fixed camera position, staring only at like you're trying to take highly detailed photos of Pokemon. So it makes sense that they're like they look way better and like they're more dense because there's also like the frame rate can stay really consistent because you're moving on at the same speed pretty much. I think eventually you get a boost, or like a boost for your cart or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean it's that's another fun thing is like you use the same vehicle you did in the first game basically, which is neat. I think the protagonist from the first game is in the second one as like one of your mentors or whatever.
Oh, Todd.
So there's like
yeah.
Todd.
Snap. It's like literally his name. Like, I know.
And he's a bit of a snack anyway. But yeah, so yeah, it's like neat. Like it's cool. I think it's like a thing. It's where it's like you never expected to get it, and it's like they didn't make it bad. Like they just they kind of just expanded on the first game, which is basically what all you would want. Really, I can't really think of like the only thing that would make this game cooler, but would make it like a lot more difficult is again it's the same thing with like the regular mainline games. Like just let me walk around this world and see these creatures everywhere. That's all I want. Like
that's why I'm hoping. That's why I'm hoping that Arceus game that's coming out is like the footage that they released of that ain't it. Let's go back to the drawing board because there's so much potential in that. There's so much potential in like a really good open world, like free roam, like more active Pokemon game. I would absolutely eat that shit up.
Well, and the problem with what they showed is that Nintendo doesn't have to show a damn thing until they want to. So if they're showing us that, that's probably what we're looking at. Like it doesn't seem like it's gonna be that's too much wilder than what we're getting.
That's the thing that I always forget is that the Pokemon company at this point is like basically a partner with Nintendo. Like it's not really a Nintendo property. It always has been, but like
they're just really deeply in bed with one another. But yeah, it's its own thing.
So what I'm saying is Pokemon Snap on PC coming next year. That's what I'm really saying.
I mean, hey, listen, if it comes there, it comes there. I got no. I guess it's. Honestly, that game would be really good with a mouse because moving that around is like you can use the motion controls, which I haven't tried, or she hasn't tried either. But the
can you use the Labo camera kit? That would be really neat. Actually, it'd be pretty cool. I'd be cool with that. That'd be neat.
I mean, you.
That'd be cool.
You really like teetered your excitement there. That would be really sick. I
know. That would be pretty cool.
Okay.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Also, Captain Red Rocket said real quick that the Chandelier Slaps in Pokemon Tournament.
I played the demo for that, but I've never actually played the the actual game. I'm not a huge Pokemon fan though, to be honest. Like I'm fine with it, but I've never been like super wild about it.
You and I kind of fell off. Like we've always talked about it, but you and I kind of fell off like right at Sapphire, like right at like Ruby Sapphire.
Ruby was the last one really, and then like I said, I tried this newest one because it seemed like they're like we're breath of fresh air in this game, and I'm like fuck yeah, and then they're like actually it's the same game, it just looks a little bit better, but kind of performs way worse because
that was the thing about like Sun and Moon and X and Y. Like it always felt like now's the difference. Now it's different.
Yeah.
But the formula has always been the same. It's very
that's like having or now playing through like Yokai Watch, like that's way more interesting. Like like story wise, like the actual moving around the world, the interactions and stuff. Like it's kind of not that different, really.
Yeah.
But and like I don't love the battle system in that game either. But at least it's like there's no real. It's really simplified, I guess, because you don't even really pick moves or anything. So it's even simpler than Pokemon, I guess, in a lot of ways. But it is like I don't know. I mean, the world is. I guess it's really the world and characters I actually are interested in because they're like pretty interesting and kind of grim in a weird way, but like uplifting more or less with what is going on.
Yeah.
Whereas Pokemon, they're sort of like never gonna touch on anything. I guess in Black and White they kind of tried to, but then sort of moved back away from that. Yeah, I don't know. Pokemon's fine. I mean, I got nothing against it. I just don't. I don't know.
Pokemon's for children and babies. Let's talk about some games.
Okay. All right.
I'm kidding.
It says the man who's played Kingdom Hearts 35 times.
Listen, hey.
Listen.
Yeah. You're talking to a man that owns a
Mickey Mouse action figure.
Very nice Mickey Mouse action figure.
Dude, put it down before you embarrass yourself.
You're seeing a really cool Kingdom Hearts action figure right here on this guy's desk. In fact, so that's actually Mickey from Kingdom Hearts 3. You'll notice he's not wearing his organization robe because he escaped the realm of darkness with Riku and really just kind of saved the entire Disney Kingdom alongside Sora at Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3, it's an interesting game because I really liked whenever Frozen came into play because you didn't really know what was going on in the story, and then one of the organization members shows up in the Frozen universe, and you're like, oh, yeah, it was the Frozen movie, but now instead of Frozen, it's Frozen and the organization, and he does like a 20-minute dialogue dump on you, and then they sing Let It Go. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 was a fantastic game is what I'm saying. So yeah, let's look at some games.
Oh, are we good? Oh.
I was honestly, I could have kept going for like 30 minutes so you could like really get into that game.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what I got in here. I think this is Tetris World.
That's Tetris. That's Tetris.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Shoot, man, that was so much fun.
I mean, I can tell you more if you want. Like,
yeah. Go ahead. I'm super invested.
Notice that I just made everything up because I really don't remember anything that happened in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, it ain't gonna make a damn bit of difference. I'm not here to fact check you.
Shit. I wouldn't blame you for playing Tetris Worlds.
You know what is crazy though? This TV like picks up pretty well on this camera. I thought like. I don't know. I just like it's not the best, but like
it doesn't look terrible. Like I can tell what you're playing.
It's kind of crazy. I thought it would look like shit just because of the lights and everything, but it's like pretty nice TV. Anyway.
Yeah. No more Kingdom Hearts talks. I promise. Unless it pops up in this list, and then I'm giving you the synopsis.
Oh,
so
it's not. It's fine. It's not going
dude,
to.
the day a Kingdom Hearts game pops up in this, it may already have. I feel like
the day I get. Yeah. New co-host. Yeah. All right. What do we got here?
Nothing. I skimmed through this earlier and I didn't really see anything huge on it.
Oh, dude, you never played My Child Leopardson?
Yeah, I don't know.
Born?
What in the fuck is this?
What about as an Android game? What about the PlayStation 2 classic My Child? Dude, what is this? This looks like
novel.
This looks like the kid from Binding of Isaac before he was like if he would have got to grow up, and was still like murderous. I don't know what's
Needless.
going on
Oh,
here.
it's a game about bullying. Okay, so
Okay, well, it better be free.
you have to be
Otherwise I don't
bullied into
have
playing
time.
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Conan.
Keep,
Sure. Hey, PS2. You got to pick that one up.
I saw it actually there today. I didn't do that though. What about My Big Sister on the PlayStation 4? Is that a horny game?
It might be a horny game.
Is
My
that a
Big
horny game?
Sister.
Oh, also, Red Rocket said, "Do you remember Tim Tim?" And I do. I tried that one too. I actually just saw they put a big update out. Like I guess
That's like the
2 days ago, a
Pokemon
day ago.
MMO, right? Like that's what it is.
Yeah. And it's okay. I don't know. It's kind of like less. It's like a lot harder than regular Pokemon for whatever reason.
It's very
Like
hard
I
for me
found
to
it a
get.
lot harder, but
It's very hard to get for me to get into those games that are like very obviously derivative, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
well, I think what it is it's just like I want either a real turn-based RPG or I want a real tactics game. I don't want this creature fighting thing, like where it's like two creatures with two moves apiece. Like I don't know. I just want more something. It's the 4-move limit that kills me, really. I guess, which I know it's about your whole team and whatever, but it's just really laborious, like switching Pokemon in and out. I don't know. I like the movement of tactics games anyway, so that's really where I'd end up.
The only good
Yeah.
Puyo
Oh,
Puyo
Void
game,
Bastards.
Yeah, Void Bastards is on there, but the only good
That's a
Puyo
really
Puyo
good game.
game is Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
only good
Trials
one.
of Fire. I actually talked about that game last week. Last week or 2 weeks ago. It's that like storybook, a roguelike card.
That's right.
battler.
Yeah.
This is a really good game. It's a cool game. I like that game.
Oh, it's like
World of
Hexbase
Final
too.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
Is that a tactics game? Like, what is World of Final Fantasy? Is that like a monster battler? Because I see it all the time on sale, but I never picked it up.
World of Final Fantasy. It's like.
Is that the one where you stack on top of each other, like sort of like Lapis, whatever those games are, Lapis Labyrinth and all that, where you just like stack a party on top of one another?
Let me see, because if I remember right, I thought World of Final Fantasy was just like a weird excuse to do like turn-based combat with all the Final Fantasy characters. I don't quite remember. Pick it up on sale.
Yeah. I see it on sale all the time. I've seen it like 4 times.
Oh, dude, he looks just like Roxas.
Okay.
Do you know who Roxas is?
That looks cute as shit, though. Look at those guys.
Oh, yeah, so it is turn-based. Okay. And yeah, it does look like you're stacking on top of like creatures from the other games.
Okay, yeah, that seems neat. I could mess around with that. I wonder how the Switch version of this game is, because that seems like where I'd want to play this. But I imagine the PC one is probably the one to go for.
Yeah, but it does kind of have
those
like a little
those
cute.
character models look real good, so I'm assuming that the Switch can't handle it. I'm just looking at it like, Switch ain't gonna do this in any resolution I want to
If
see.
you're a
with my
fan of
eyes.
Final Fantasy, this is 100% fan service. Okay. Well, let me tell you the Final Fantasy games that I've played to completion.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, and I like them, but I never finish them. Like 10 is the closest I've gotten to finishing it, and then
15 is the closest I've gotten. I have. So I actually on Switch, like all the older games were like $5 a piece. So I went ahead and like picked up 9, 10.
I picked up 7 and 7. I picked up 7 because I've never really played it. I had a girlfriend in like middle school that was super into it, or high school, whichever. I was in middle school. She was in high school because I was so cool. And she was a teacher, and I was an infant. But she was really into it. Final Fantasy 7 or whatever. I always liked I never could get into. I don't know. I always liked the other ones. I liked Wild Arms a lot. I liked Breath of Fire. I liked all the RPGs except for the Final Fantasy ones for whatever reason. And maybe it's that like stigma where people talk about it so much that you just go, I can't like this. Too many people like this.
I think it's almost like Dragon Quest. Like I love like the aesthetic of Dragon Quest, and I do love 11 a lot, and I want to get back to playing it. Just so much shit has come out since then, but
Yeah.
It's almost like this is the JRPG. Like, do you know what a JRPG is? This is that. Like it.
Right.
And I know like Final Fantasy ever since like 10 has like tried to shake up like the formula somewhat in the way it does its combat and stuff. Like Final Fantasy 12 is a very fun game. I actually like that game quite a bit.
Oh, is that the action combat one? Which one is that? That's
No,
12 or
12
13?
12 is the one. No, 13 is the one with lightning. And
Which
that
one is Zodiac
like,
Age? What's that?
Zodiac Age is that's 12.
Yeah, okay, that's the one
it still has
I
the
like that one a lot.
it kind of still has the turn stuff, but you can freely move, but it still is kind of like time based. Like it's not.
Yeah, but it's like way more active than the other ones have been.
The thing about
I
12
like
that was
one a lot.
fun was like programming your party. Like you could essentially
Yeah,
program them to just
Well,
auto fight.
yeah, I was gonna say that game is just you getting to a point. It's a clicker. It becomes a clicker. It's just you're playing that game until you don't have to play it anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
But I actually do like that one a lot. Do you know there's a DS version of that game? I didn't realize that, but that game came out on the DS also.
Final
Or
Fantasy
3DS.
12.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was. Because I could have sworn I saw it the other day when I was looking at when I was going through the PS2 racket of stuff. Maybe it was 3DS, but I'm pretty sure it was. I could have sworn I saw this. Yeah. Yeah. Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings. I'm sorry. So it's a different,
so is it like a
it's a
counterpart?
spin-off, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. It kind of looks like a. It kind of looks like a turn-based game a little bit, but I can't actually see what it is because these are just screenies. It looks kind of. It looks like a. I don't know, either turn-based game. It looked like one of the turning games, or maybe it's one where you pick your whole guys and y'all fight. I can't tell. Hell, I don't know. But it looks.
It
neat.
almost looks like a blend of like Final Fantasy and a Tactics. Like that's almost.
That's
what
what I'm
looks
saying.
like to me,
Well, you know what? If that's on the if that's on that little DS cart your boy got, then I guess I'm gonna be playing that. Yeah,
give it a
81%,
shot.
8.3.
There, I mean, there's
4.1.
a proper Tactics game
Hell.
on DS, and that one's actually
Dude, you
really
can
good.
you can get this game at Target for $30 right now, no problem.
There you go.
So I won't be doing that, but cool that it's still easily available. So I guess it wasn't like people weren't getting too excited. At least it's the fewest. It's the cheapest DS game available at the moment, next to my Smoking Coach.
Captain Red Rocket said Horinobu Sakaguchi put out a game on Apple Arcade. Fantasian looks good, maybe worth subscribing. I actually did a trial of Apple Arcade to play it, and yeah, it's cool. I like so what it does is it takes
That's the
like
claymation one, right?
Not claymation. They did dioramas.
Dioramas. Yeah. Yeah, that game looks sick. I forgot about that.
I played like the first hour of it, and yeah, the combat is pretty cool. Like you do a lot of like swiping and like lining up attacks against like the enemies kind of form lines, and like depending on like the attack you're doing, you can like kind of arc them, or it is like a turn-based game, but it's actually a lot of fun. I still want to get back to it, but
how do you see? That's the thing about Apple Arcade. I wish I could just buy the game. That's what happened. I was like tempted to open Monster Hunter Stories super bad, and then it went on sale on iPhone for $4. So I bought it on iPhone and then on my iPad.
There you go.
And I also found that the DualSense 5 just works with Bluetooth up to an iPad or a phone. But that game is old enough to where it doesn't have support for it. But how does the combat? Is it swiping and shit, or is it like actual? Can you control it with like a controller, or do you have to like do some?
I think there
ragamuffin stuff.
I think there may be controller support, and you just arc the attacks with like a joystick. I don't quite know. I think so, though. I think it does have that. I could be totally wrong, but I know that they made a pretty big push to get controller support on a lot of those iPhone games. The Apple Arcade.
Oh man, that does look really nice though. I remember seeing screenshots of this not too long ago, but I didn't realize it was like out now. To actually play it, but God, do I not want to do Apple Arcade at all? Do I just don't want to pay for another subscription of something? But man, I guess for $5 to play through that game, that's not really that bad. But I wish I could just pay $5 and just have the game. It supports game controllers, game center, family sharing. Yeah, so it does. That's cool.
Yeah, worth a shot then. Seems like it's a cool game. But that's all I got. We went a little longer than we normally do tonight. That was
Yeah. Yeah, we did. I think the other thing I would say is I started playing Paper Mario also, the new
Origami King. Yeah,
Origami King.
My fiance beat that game. She liked it a lot. I played probably about half of it,
dude,
and I fell off. But
the combat I'm already seeing, I wish was a little bit more involved, because it seems a little dull. But the presentation and like the polish of it is second to none. Like, it's so nice, and everything looks really nice and detailed the way you'd want it to. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I've
always really liked the writing in those games more so than the gameplay, at least ever since like the second Paper Mario. Like the writing in those games is always really funny and well written. Like have you gotten to like the Bomb yet, or the Bob-omb that you partner up with yet?
No. I'm finishing up getting everybody for the initial Toad Town. I think I've only played maybe like 2 hours, maybe.
Okay.
Because I sort of put in that Sakuna and I got kind of sucked in because that's one of those games that I'm like, I'm getting an itch. I can get new items. I think it was when I was playing Paper Mario and I realized that all your gear breaks. So I was like, well, hold on, let me get it. I want some actual upgrades if I'm gonna be playing a game. I need some real loot. Okay.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
I got to that door with like the seals on it or whatever, and I got the first seal, I guess, and now I'm going through trying to find 4 more, I suppose, is what it's asking me to do.
Nice.
I don't quite know, but it's so far pretty good. I kind of just want to see it. But PS2 baby, so that's
who knows.
That's where it's at right now.
Who knows?
Oh, I do. PS2 baby. It's PS2 baby. I got it so Jack can whoop my ass at SSX Tricky, and then I could beat her at any other game I have.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right. Well, yeah. I think that's a video game. That's a spicy video game.
We did the video. We did the video game.
Yeah.
However people say that.
This episode, unlike last week's episode, because your boy forgot, somehow I've been very diligent about all the episodes, but I forgot somehow last week to upload one. So I might skip it. That may just be a last episode. Maybe we'll put it out some other point. I don't know. Maybe not. You can still see it on Twitch here, but if you're the full episode will be up on YouTube tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central Time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we should hopefully be back here next week on Wednesday.
That's right. Yeah, I have no problems with that. Nothing getting in the way.
Oh, I do. Yeah, so we should be, so next week, I don't know, I guess come around 8:30, and then we'll probably get her going around 9.
Once we get a little more disciplined in this, we're going to have a more structured, yeah.
Maybe.
I'll say this, like, I'm trying to build up the Facebook page. I'm going to start working on getting, like, a website going to kind of give us more of like a hub to do some other stuff. I have some ideas that I want to start working on. So hear more about that in the coming weeks. Also,
we'll probably eventually do a Discord of some kind. That's a ways off, I think, because we don't.
I actually made a Discord. I haven't fucked with it yet. I want because like Discord moderation is extremely intricate now. Like there's so many things you can do with it, and I kind of want to play with it. See where that takes me. But I think the first big thing I want to work on is I'll be doing kind of like a Resident Evil 8 thing. So I'm, for the first time ever, because I have so much storage available now, pretty much when I play a game, I'm just going to start recording and start trying to make content off of just me naturally playing some games. So we'll see how that goes.
I think I'll probably be doing much of the same. I will say, Brave Fencer Musashi is probably gonna be the first game I do this with because I would really like to play through that game again. I don't necessarily need an excuse, but I would
Yeah.
like one to sit through it again. Because it's been a long time, and I still have the official strategy guide that I had when I was 12 years old. So I'll probably dig into that a little bit. Turns out also strategy guides fucking expensive for old games. I've noticed.
Some of them are cool,
Like,
man.
crazy
I have a
expensive.
couple. Some of them just read really cool. Like the Oblivion one was always really cool to flip through.
This
They
one's
almost-
pretty rad. It's got a lot of art in it. Like there's like the bestiary in the back of it is really nice.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like some strategy guides out there, like Coupled is like a lore book and like art book in
Mhm.
some cases, and I always liked those.
Yeah, I was looking at
Uh,
the Dark Cloud 2 one is like $700, and you can get the game for like $40. Or if you have a current system, you can get it for like 14 as a download.
Yeah.
But yeah, that stuff's pretty wild. I'm still trying to track down the Monster Hunter strategy guy, but we'll that's nothing. We're
Cross that
getting out of
bridge.
here.
Yeah.
We're getting out of here. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Like I said, if you didn't get a chance to see the full episode, it'll be up tomorrow, or you can just watch the restream, or whatever, the archive of this one, because it's right here also. Yeah, twist your own tits off.
Oh, hi. Yeah. Bye. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, y'all. Hey, test out tight.
I already hit it.